state your name?
Noel Monet Adams.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Did you have a traditional or unorthodox upbringing?
I had traditional and unorthodox because I was raised by my grandparents. So I had both parents in the house. It just wasn't my mother and father.
Was motherhood something you always knew you wanted?
Motherhood is something that I didn't expect. So it's very unexpected.
When did you first find out that you were having twins?
I found out I was pregnant with twins when I was 4.5 months pregnant.
What was your first thoughts when the doctor told you?
I told them to leave the room because I was I was very nervous and I wasn't expecting that.
How has your family supported your decision to be a single parent?
Not so much. My family didn't really support the decision to be a single parent, but because of who I had children with, they were supportive in my decision.
How has the absence of the paternal father affected your life and the children's behavior, if any?
As far as my life, I think it stressed me out a little bit more. I feel like I took on a lot of different roles for the twins, but I don't really think it's affected them. They were so young, they really don't know. I mean, he's not really involved. He talks occasionally, but that's really it.
Have you noticed any effects of the pandemic between you and yourself and the twins?
We fight a lot more. We are always arguing because of the pandemic. We are in the house consistently. So I think that with being so used to being outside and going to do things, I think being cooped up in the house has kind of like brought us a little bit closer, but also drove all of us insane.
What type of activities do you do with the twins during the quarantine?
During the quarantine, let's see, we've painted, we've gone for walks. The beginning I tried to work out, didn't work out that well. Watch movies, try to do a little bit of learning, really just kind of basic stuff. We're running out of things to do.
What was it like getting back to the workforce after your maternity leave?
I didn't want to go back to the workforce. And after I had the twins, I wanted to be with them all the time. So when I did go back to work, I worked a part-time. I didn't work full-time, and I would just call and FaceTime them consistently until my cousins who were watching them were like, relax, we got it. But it was an adjustment because I had been out for a while, and I didn't want to miss anything.
What hardships have you experienced while being a single parent?
Juggling work and regular life, trying to get back to regular life, trying to have a semi-social life while raising 2 toddlers on your own, trying to make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to or you're not failing as a parent, because I think a lot of us feel like we are.
When was there a time you felt that it was overwhelming and you had thoughts of failure?
So a lot more recent. I'm not a single parent anymore, but I just feel like now I feel sometimes that I'm failing as a parent because the twins are going through phases where they don't listen and they're kind of like rebellious, and I feel like I'm raising teenagers instead of toddlers. So I think that would probably be one of the only times I felt that way. I've never felt that way before.
Do you think all mothers have thoughts like that?
Yeah, we do. All of us have thoughts that we're failing as parents because we really don't know what we're doing. We're kind of just learning day by day. So it's a journey.
Do you think parenting would be easier with only one child, or would it be challenging either way?
It's going to be challenging either way. 1 child, 2 child, 5. It's going to be difficult. And you can learn different things about yourself and the children.
What advice do you have for a young mother expecting twins, or any woman that may be expecting twins?
If I could give anybody advice that's expecting children or, twins, it's okay. Don't be nervous. It's going to work out. You're doing the best that you can. Don't give up on yourself and just stay focused and take people's advice very lightly because you have to make your own decisions.
What is a normal day for you and the twins?
Since quarantine, it's really honestly been pretty laid back. The twins wake up at the crack of dawn, so I really don't get to sleep in. And we kind of just try to make sure that we eat breakfast around the same time. We try to make sure that we have some type of learning. They have tablet time. Watch movies, go outside if it's not too hot. It's really just kind of laid back and normal.
State your full name.
Noel Adams.
Spell.
Noeladams.
And where did you grow up?
I grew up in Charlotte, North Carolina.
How long did you live there?
I've lived there pretty much my whole life.
Did you have a traditional or unorthodox upbringing?
I had traditional and unorthodox. I was raised by my grandparents, so I had two parents in the house that just weren't mine.
Did that affect you in any way?
I don't think so. I think that it didn't really affect me that much.
Was motherhood something you always knew you wanted?
I wanted to be a mother, so I've always wanted to be a mom, but I didn't think I would have it until my late 20s instead of my early 20s.
Do you think the absence of your parents contributed to that at all?
A little, but not really. And I say that because my mom had me. My mom's 20 years older than me, so she had me early. But I don't think that really contributed to me wanting to have children later.
When did you first find out that you were having twins?
I found out I was having twins when I was 4.5 months pregnant.
Isn't that pretty late into your pregnancy?
It is, but I was under the impression that I was only having one baby, and when I went in for Braxton Hicks, I came out finding out I was having two. So that was a shock.
What was your first thought when the doctor told you?
What am I going to do with two children? I don't even know what to do with one. So I told the doctor to leave the room so I could take a chill pill and kind of digest it.
How has the absence of the paternal father affected your life and the children's behavior, if any?
I don't think it really affects them that much. I can't say for when they get older. I mean, they know enough. I don't think that it really affected their development or anything like that. As for me in the beginning, it was stressful, but aside from that, it's been fine.
What is, if any, the twins' relationship with their paternal father?
I think that Nadia might have a relationship with her dad more than Naz does. She gets excited to talk to him. I think that she kind of misses a male figure being in her life, but Nazir, I think he's opposite. He's kind of like me. He's like, it is what it is type of attitude towards it.
Do you think this will affect how they see him as they get older?
Once they get older, I think that they will have their own opinion of him. So I try not to talk bad about him or anything around them. Because I want them to develop their own opinion.
How have you noticed any effects of the pandemic between the twins or yourself?
The twins fight a lot more about the smallest things, which I think that they would do beside the pandemic. I think that they're just a little bit more antsy to get out of the house. Myself, I'm kind of just finding different creative outlets, getting back to myself.
What type of activities do you do with the twins during the quarantine?
So we painted, we have baked, gone for walks, try to do little workouts. I think we've probably watched all Disney movies. We'll still go for a ride, just they don't get out of the car. Just kind of kept it really simple.
How did your family support, or was there support from your family when you decided to be a single parent?
My parents didn't really want me to be a single parent. It's not ideal. But, you know, after the twins were born, they were supportive. They were happy that they were here.
Does that continue now on?
Yeah, they're still supportive. My grandmother calls every day. And, you know, they want to talk to her. They ask to talk to her. So they have a really good relationship with them.
State your full name and spelling.
It's Noel Adams. Noeladams.
What was it like getting back to the workforce after your maternity leave?
After the maternity leave, I was actually looking for a job, so it was a little difficult because I really didn't know what my schedule would be. And also, I didn't really want to leave the twins because I wanted to spend as much time with them as possible. I didn't want to miss anything.
What hardship have you experienced while being a single parent?
Um, Making a safe place for us, like maybe like trying to find an apartment and get on my feet and have like a stable job was a hardship. I actually moved back home after I had the twins, so I was there for maybe like a year and a half where before I could get back on my feet. So that was probably one of the only hardships that I really had. After that, it was pretty simple. It wasn't easy, but it was manageable.
How did that affect you moving back home after leaving,
I
after the birth of the twins?
I've been gone for so long that going back home was kind of like taking a step back, but it was a step back that I needed so that I can get it together for them.
When was there a time that you felt that it was so overwhelming and you had thoughts of failure?
Um, Recently, I've had thoughts of failure with the twins getting older. They are becoming a little rebellious, so I feel like some things that I say they don't listen to. They kind of do what they want, and I think like it was one week where they were just off the chain, and I just was like, I don't know if I'm doing anything correctly. And so that was like the first and only time I felt that way.
Do you think that's them setting up their independence from themselves and from you?
A little, yeah. And I also think that they're also starting to get older and realize more things and just, going into their own.
Do you think all mothers have thoughts like that?
Yeah, we all feel like we're failing at something, but it's not easy. Every day is different, and you learn about yourself and your children in the process.
So what is a normal day for you and the twins? Can you pinpoint that or explain that to us?
Well, we really don't do much since quarantine. Breakfast in the morning. They wake up really early, so try to get up and make breakfast. They have tablet time, just quiet time. Try to have them do an activity, go outside, paint, color, something, and then it's lunchtime. Then trying to have them take a nap, which is difficult. After nap time, we get up and kind of just spend time together, and then it's dinner and bed. So we try to do the same thing consistently each day since they're not in school.
Do you notice that one twin may want to do one activity and the other one might want quiet time? Do they do that at times?
They sometimes do. One might just be kind of on, trying to just be by themselves, and the other one wants to play, and then they tend to fight. So they do sometimes want to do the opposite things.
How do you resolve the conflict when it comes to them wanting to fight?
Try to separate them as much as possible when it gets that bad, or just try to talk to them. Really been trying to just stay calm and not get frustrated as much. But it kind of resolves itself, and the fights are very short. So that may be a thing.
What advice do you have for a young mother expecting twins, or any woman that may be expecting twins?
If you're expecting twins or just a baby in general, it is okay, because I know a lot of us are nervous, or we feel like we're gonna be bad parents. I think that realistically, like, everybody's a bad parent at some point. We do things based on advice that people give us, and sometimes you just kind of have to feel things out for yourself. So don't be afraid. You'll be fine.
Would you advise to join like a mom's group, like on Facebook or anything like that?
The mom groups, I mean, yeah, I would advise to do that. I wish I'd have did it earlier, because, we all feel the same way, and we feel like we don't have anybody to talk to that really understands. So I think those would probably be a really good outlet, get advice from different people, different opinions. Our family gives us advice, but I think because it's our family, we're like, yeah, whatever, we don't want to listen. But I feel like getting advice from outside sources that really don't know your situation, or just like, may have similar situations of their own. So I think it's really good to kind of be in some type of group to express yourself.
Okay. Well, thank you, Noelle. It was great interviewing you.
You're welcome.